I'd like to resume from where we left with because that's a very key aspect of the true nature of of reality, and that's one of the. I have my notes over here, and that was one of the key points that I wanted to touch on this interview: the nature of reality. And you mentioned you were mentioning that actually all this the main tools of the control of the system of control are blind, obedience to authority, to this concept of authority, and money. And here is where we may part ways with many people in the so-called kind of, let's say, anarchical slash freedom slash,
Yes.
ANCAP and all that.
You scared me there for a second because I thought you were going to say we part ways. I thought you and me, like, oh no, we're on opposite ends.
No, I mean,
you're on the same page. Okay, with other people. Yeah. Well, again, going to something Passio has said, 2 mistakes to make on the path to truth: not starting and not going all the way. And he talks about tent pitchers. You're going up a mountain. Instead of making it all the way to the top, you get some people that go here and say, I'm not going any further. So 9/11 inside job, yes. JFK, CIA, whatever, yes. Vaccines, toxic, autism, yes. Money, rude, causing problems. Hold on. No, okay, I'm not going that far. See, and some people stop right there, and that's it. And that distinguishes, again, he's mentioned it as my freedom movement. People talk about freedom and freedom, but my freedom. Well, what about freedom for everybody? What's controlling everybody? What's causing this? A lot of it, it's based on money. And if you simplify things, just look at nature. We are the only living things on this planet that operate using this proxy called money. Because we got the higher consciousness and we can think and all that. Exactly. We could think, you think we'd make it better, but we're causing poverty, we're causing homelessness, we're causing starvation,
good
all this stuff, all this stuff. Yeah, because yay, money. It's like, come on, all the other animals are in sync with nature. Everything else that exists on this planet, or in the galaxy, as far as we know, I always make it retarded or silly and stupid saying the earth is not paying the sun for the sunlight that it receives. And that's some of the biggest universal things. If everything in existence is a business transaction, well, I don't see the earth paying the sun. It just does what it does. It exists. There's a balance there. We're the only ones that have, and I don't think it was the whole of humanity that did that. Again, it's that few dark occultists that knew, hey, maybe we can control everybody if we make them think that instead of just getting the fruit from the tree, instead of just, making their clothing, instead of just building their homes, instead of just growing their food, that they can't do that, that they need something else that comes in between that. Before that, hey, this proxy thing, this called money, this thing of exchange. Yeah, let's do that. And we can control that and we become the masters. And that's it. And that's what we call bankers today. The bankers, banking class, the elites, the ones with all the money. And
I was actually listening, re-listening to one of the episodes of your podcast where you say, that you were, you get sort of accused of wanting. Something for nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Because it seems that and I heard this also other people. That's something that can resonate with the people here in Europe. Actually, this thing about the fakery of money, because they sort of come from the sort of the let's say freedom oriented people come from the what we would call sort of the kind of again, I say this term, but socialist perspective. Whereas in America you have the much of the freedom movement. It comes from, and again I use this other term in quotes, the capitalistic
Yeah.
perspective. So it's something that it maybe help to bring some people over to the light side here in Europe, is the kind of the concept that the money is fake. Because I mean sure I'd want, because it's just how nature works. You need a house to shelter yourself from the element, and you need clothes, and shouldn't it be natural that there are somebody that is not a slave, that is a free person, doesn't work in a sweatshop somewhere, or isn't exploited as a construction worker, is a free being that decides, hey, if you are not able to do this yourself, I'll do this for you, because that's what I do. And that's that's logic. People need shelter, clothing, and
Yeah, I think there's a word, symbiotic, whatever, where everything that lives around each other is kind of depending of each other. It's like the human body. Imagine if all the different organs, parts of your body were selfish, if they were satanic. It's just me, myself, the heart, all selfish. Just the blood is just for me, or the kidneys doing what they do just for themselves, or the liver, or whatever. No, everything has its role to play, but yet it works not expecting anything. It just does what it does because every other part does what it does, and as a whole, it keeps that whole body alive. And that's the same thing how humanity can work. I don't have to be an electrician, a plumber, a gardener, cook, scientist, chemist. No, I don't have to do all that, know all that. There might be something that naturally based on my upbringing or my, exposure, societal exposure, being a child, that I got into music. So I'm very good in music or electronics or whatever. And that's something that sticks with me. And naturally I can figure things out and I'm good at that. Then that's a path that I go. That could be who I am or what I choose to do. Whereas you might be someone who loves cooking, everything, gardening, doing the food, what is it, the farming and doing everything, and you can make a great, big spread buffet and all that stuff, but you don't know anything about computers. You don't know anything about music, but yeah, you found your love, your niche, and that's what you do. You serve your part. You do your part. Do what you love, you see? And all of us have certain things that we can, focus on and discover. Again, government, control our own minds, that we decide like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, this is too much work for me, this is no. But man, I really love this. This I can do every day for the rest of my life. Guess what? You found your niche, what your purpose or what fits you. And all of us have that. But what happens? We go to school, we get indoctrinated. Everybody needs to learn science, religion, English, history, or whatever, French, whatever. Boom, everybody cookie cutter, the same thing. So all that originality, all that creativity, all that individuality, that's gone out the window, and very few are strong enough, or at least directed to, harness that, like, oh, wow, this person has a good voice. So they end up on, X Factor or American Idol or whatever record label picks them up. Or this one kid or it's 6'5". You're probably going to be a basketball player. This one kid may be 6 foot, 300 pounds. So football player or whatever, rugby or, Yeah. So there's certain things that fall into place. But for the rest of us, the majority of the people, it's all expected to be cookie cutter thing, like the quote from, I think it was Rockefeller back in the early 1900s. I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. And if you look to see how the United States has turned out, from about the 50s on till today, look at me. I work at the post office, and I don't hate it. It's just I, am not, I don't want to be a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. And if you look to see how the United States has turned out, from about the 50s on till today, look at me. I work at the post office, and I don't hate it. It's just I, am not, I don't want to be a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. And if you look to see how the United States has turned out, from about the 50s on till today, look at me. I work at the post office, and accept or already realize over 20 years there, just a few more years to go to retirement or whatever. So, and like I said, I'm already almost 50 years old. So what am I going to do to restart? I'm going to use my time there to make whatever bit of money to still, take care of myself, and use some of that money and whatever else to, do the great work, so, but yeah. Everybody has to just figure out their own thing. But the thing is that there is something to figure out. And a lot of people think that, hey, life is great as long as I work and pay my taxes and vote, everything's fine. It's like, no, there's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, and I think it's important, and that's something that sometimes we get criticized by other people that may or may not do something to actually better things in this world. Okay, well, you're only talking on the internet, doing podcasts, but that's not affecting reality. But that's not true, because even if it's just I interviewed Matt Landman this summer from Arizona there.
Yeah, he was at the conference also.
Yeah, it was at your conference, and he said, well, even if silence is not an option. He was talking about, he was referring to chemtrails, but it can be referred to everything related to truth. Silence is not an option, even if you just make shows on the internet, but do something anyway to spread. It's about the spreading of the information, because if we fall into, okay, I can do anything, it's all it's over, we are done, and we are done for, and that's for sure. It's what the controller class wants, actually.
Right. Well, it's part of that trinity, part of the three parts: your thoughts, emotions, and actions. See, I get frustrated too. Like I said, 11 years into this stuff, I'm so much want to get into the action part. However, I know it's just a few people that have the thoughts, the knowledge, have the emotion, knowing something's wrong, but then to put in the action. And yeah, conference is an action, doing the podcast is an action, the website's an action, the meetups is an action. But man, I'll tell it to you right now. It'll get real right now. This is what might get your show tracked. Okay, NSA. I'm just saying, don't do anything. This is just conversation here. But yeah, look, how do the police and governments do things all over the world? They don't just they just don't say something. They might say it once. That's the thought. Then the emotion, they get angry. It's like, okay, you're not obeying, you're not doing as we say. And then they take action. It's basically, yes, exactly. And it's action either taking your money, locking you up, tasering you, injuring you, or killing you. There's a lot of action being done by the flavors.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. I don't know. And it's hard to convince people that, like, if you and I were walking down the street someday and we see some guy, and maybe he's kind of nerdy, or we look down on him or whatever, or a guy with a nice girl or whatever, and we start bullying him, we start treating him bad, whatever, and he punches us, if we attack him, we put our hands on him, so we have no right to, perform violence upon this guy, violate his safety and his health and all that stuff. He has every right to use defensive force against us. Nobody would argue if we're bullying him, pushing him around, slap him around, and then he beats the crap out of us. He ends up to be a little Bruce Lee or something, and next thing you know, we're all, with our arms broken, whatever, and they'll be like, hey, we got what we deserve. Nobody will question that. But for some reason, when it comes to these entities, these external governments or other things out there that steal our money or poison us, killing us, chemtrails, vaccines, GMOs, or straight up actually killing us, tasing, choking, shooting. And wait a minute, we're crazy if we attempt to use any type of defensive force from all that. We're the wrong ones. We're going about it the wrong way. See, that's that controlling of the mind from outside. Whereas from inside, we know, like, wait, something's wrong here. Because if you and I are not going to allow it from, each other, why are we allowing it from these other entities? And that's the problem, that very few of us are there. And that's where that frustration comes out when we got 7 billion people, that if they really knew what was going on and really were in touch with their mental faculties and could think, they would see it the way we see it and say, hey, wait a minute, I don't need to be, in Africa, starving, homeless, whatever. I don't need to be on the streets of Detroit or, New York, Los Angeles, somewhere in America, homeless and, being assaulted by police because I'm sleeping on a bench, or in South America. No. And that's that lost word, no. But, we see this, we know this. And the thing is that we learned through knowledge and went through the emotions, and now we know what's going on. The rest of the people have to do that too. And it just, hey, like I have on my website, I'm just trying to free your mind. But what is it? I'm just showing you the door, but you're the one who has to walk through it. And that's what we're doing. And that's the sad and hard part, is to accept, is that we can only point people in the direction and keep repeating and saying that, because they need to learn and they need to catch up and get to the point of, okay, they got the thoughts, they got the emotions, and then as a whole, as a critical mass, action needs to be taken. And that's where we're at. So it's that slow build up. And hey, we only have what, 60, 70, 80 years supposedly to live here if we stay healthy, maybe 90, to, maybe see some action take place, or at least the numbers grow. And so that's why it's somewhat frustrating and sad sometimes. But we got to keep doing the great work, and maybe this is the little seeds that we plant. And if internet censorship doesn't get more extreme or more crazy, all this information will be out there for future generations to find and be like, hey, this video's from 2018, 5, 10, 20, 40 years ago. They made sense. They're talking about what we're living now, or whatever, or the early stages. Maybe we should do something. And hey, who knows?
Yeah, hopefully, and hopefully it will be like that. And I just we are. I don't know if you're running late or not, but I want.
Yeah, I can scare you a bit, because I love movies. I keep watching movies. And I know a lot of people say, turn off the TV and stop watching those movies. Again, intention. I don't watch it sitting there just with the popcorn and taking it in and letting it write my program. Like, wow, I want to do that. No, I know what's going on. So I stop, I watch it, I observe, and I'm analyzing. And when I'm in a movie theater, I'm watching the audience. When something happens, I see their reaction, like, oh my God, they're crying, or they're taking it in. I'm like, wow, the mind control. See, a lot of these movies and TV shows, I'm 48 years old now. I've seen the progression, how a lot of movies now, within the last 5 years, they don't care. Movies and TV shows, they're putting everything just out there. The enslavement, the control, the government, the tyranny, tyrannical stuff that's coming or that is here, just everything. And they say it in the conversations, the dialogues in there. And people just watch it like,
Well, whatever.
So yeah, exactly. Okay. So it's that point. I think the controllers kind of realize the dumbing down is pretty much complete, that now they can make movies of the enslavement and the New World Order or whatever they want to call it. And people would just be there like, oh, wow, okay, that's cool. And that's where we're at.
That's... if you say and if you try to point that out, as we say back in February with the Mark Devlin, it's you've been watching too many movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, what like that? What like climate control? Like that stupid movie with the
Geostorm? Yeah.
Geostorm. Like, get out. You are crazy. You know?
Yeah, even that movie they have
real. You know?
And even in that movie, I remember the actor Ed Harris had a line in there towards the end that revealed so much. I was like, oh, right there in your face, they're telling you. He said a line, something to the effect of, he missed how it was back during the Reagan and Carter presidency or something like that, when the United States government was not run by corporations or bankers. It's like, wait a minute, what? He just put it out there like, yeah, he misses the days before that. It's like, they're telling you how things are right there in movies, but hey, that's just a movie, you know.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, one other thing that is actually kind of going back to what we're saying about, you know, taking action in defense of our rights. So that's also another big thing that one of the differences, the big differences you see from the US and the rest of the world, and even over here, like in Europe, when you, okay, maybe we need more rights and blah blah blah, but you start saying, well, and you need to also to defend those rights, and to defend your body and your physical your physical safety. And many people will accept, will sort of accept that, yeah, sure, self-defense, if a criminal attacks me on the street, etc., etc. But then you start saying, well, no, actually, I mean, defense from even the higher criminals, as I call them.
Right.
So you need the appropriate means for that, and people go, whoa, back off now. We don't want to be like, you know, like over there in the US, where they are all crazy with their guns, just shooting each other. So yeah, that needs to be you know, controlled, but, you know. And here comes the mental schism, because you want those people that you are complaining are trampling on your rights. You want them in control of the means. I'm talking about firearms. So,
yeah.
but not limited to that. You want them in control of the means to defend yourself from that, and to prevent possibly that kind of situation.
Yeah.
And
well, you started off talking about rights, and the thing is, again, people just don't know what a right is. They'll talk about rights like what it says on a paper, you know, that I can do this, or the government says we can do this, or Constitution says we can do that, you know, the people voted, or you know, whatever, that those are our rights. And yeah, a lot of people don't know what a right is. What is a right? You know, that's an action that you perform that does not cause harm to any other sentient being. That's what a right is. See, but yet they talk about, well, I have the right to, you know, drive the car if I pay this and have the sticker on and the license plate, and those are my rights. I have a right. No, that's not what a right is. And yeah, again, it goes back to that obfuscation. They change things in people's minds, meanings, and people are just so brainwashed or mind control and lost that, you know, just to get to the truth, you got to go through all that garbage, you know, and the thing is, you can't go through it for them. They have to go through it themselves. You just have to either point it out to them or assist them in it if they want that help. So, yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and on that side, for sure. I just mentioned to you the fact that what I found personally to get kind of for the Italian/European audience, so to speak, because it's not that I have an audience, but let's say to people that you speak to here on the streets, or friends, or whatever. You actually got some resistance to verify, hey, first of all, you are an anarchist, so that's kind of the first scary word that comes out. So, you know, some people think you are again sort of a hippie, communist, troublemaker, Molotov throwing guy, etc. Or
Mhm.
that you just want chaos, or like, you know, individualist because you care about the rights of the individual, of the unit. So they see you as instead here they obfuscated the meaning, and it's kind of selfish and don't care about others, just care about himself.
Mhm.
And the other thing is, well, being pro self-defense. That means sort of, you know, pro-gun and without the permit from the higher ups, and that could get me a visit from the from the guy from the man in black, you know? Because yeah, no permits and no registration. I mean, why should you want something like that? It's just crazy. You are giving the predators control and knowledge of what you have or don't have or can't have, and that, okay, you're the crazy guy that the gun nut that wants to be like the Americans and just
Yeah, yeah. Well, that
so
see,
that those are the main things which
Mhm.
which I get which I get blocked
Right.
sometimes when, and even people that say that they are anarchists and understand this stuff, anarchist, you know, and then, well, but I heard from even from their mouths that you know, well, but wouldn't you want registration for your gun, because you know that's normal. I say, my God, how can you how can you think?
Yeah, I think over here they call them minarchists. People that, yeah, they just want a little bit of control, a little bit
Yeah,
of
but in
government
America, the
control.
minarchist
Yeah,
it's not for gun control.
yeah,
So at least there's that. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. Listening to you, I would say part of the great work there is just planting the little bit of seeds by questioning, having the people question what they're telling you. See, they throw something at you, you know, oh, anarchists, anarchy, this, whatever. Just, well, what does anarchy mean to you? Do you know what the etymology is, where it originally came from, what the real meaning of it is and stuff? You know, just little things to make them think. And that's how I go about my day at work or whatever in a conversation. You know, I just start asking questions for people to start thinking about what they're saying, you know, instead of just combating or just kind of, no, this, that, like, well, why do you say that? Why do you think that? Where did you get that from? You know, well, you know, just little things like that, you know, just start questioning them on that. And self-defense, you know, or firearms. It's like, okay, well, what's a weapon? Do you, you know, no guns. Okay, what about a knife, a machete? What about your fist? You know, is there come a time you gotta cut off your hands and turn them in because they could be a weapon? I mean, you know, just question like, hey, wait a minute, you know, that's true. How far does it go? You know, so yeah, that's an entry point for them to start questioning their argument, and that's a way to get in there.
yeah. They usually they usually say, because I actually tried that, but hey, well, with a firearm it's far more easy to do a mass shooting or whatever. You know, with your fist, you know, okay, it's right, a knife, okay, you can stab 20 guys, but you know, with a firearm, it's way easier.
Yeah, see,
So
again, intention. What
yeah,
direction is it coming from?
yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's much easier to do a mass shooting. Yeah, when everybody else isn't armed. Now, let's say a mass shooting, if a person goes and tries to do a mass shooting,
exactly.
but at least 5 people in that crowd have their own gun, don't you think, you know, one of them would get off a shot and take down the other person? See, so intention, it's like, hey, wait a minute, that's true. Because if only the bad guy has the gun, only the bad guy's going to do all the bad stuff. But if
Yeah,
maybe there's somewhat of a good guy or a few good people that have the guns, maybe the bad guys won't be as brave to do these mass shootings or this stuff, knowing like, oh, wait a minute, somebody else might have a gun or maybe even a bigger gun than me. Maybe I shouldn't do that. See, but again, see, those are the type of questions to get people, okay, well, maybe I see what you're saying. Well, that's what police are for. No,
yeah,
because police come after. You know, that's mommy and daddy after the bad stuff has happened, never, you know, while it's happening. So
yeah. And if you wanna have another laugh, at that point, believe it or not, at that point they come out and say, "Oh, that's unacceptable," because it will turn out into an old west style shooting. I say, wait a second. Do you
What
realize
happens when the police show up?
yeah, but do you realize what you're saying? You're saying that in order to avoid a defensive shooting kind of situation, you're saying that you'd rather have somebody getting away with a mass shooting and killing lots of people because you don't want the old west
Yeah.
situation. You're
Mm-hmm.
can you understand the
There's no logic
mentality?
there.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? He's gonna get tired of shooting people. He's gonna get run out of bullets and stop. That's what they're gonna wait for. You know? Yeah. Logic is not there. No thinking.
Yeah. No, and you yeah, let's say, yeah, okay. You usually point out this and say, okay, and that's something that Mark Passio says, harps on a lot. They usually say, okay, maybe that's right, but that's not the society that I will be, at ease living in. I would be scared of living among people carrying, firearms, etc. So.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
think he talks.
and
I
that's your
prefer to live in. What was it? Something about I'll take my chances to be free in a dangerous world than to be
exactly.
safe in a slave world, in an unfree world. Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact is that the reality is just that lots and lots of people everywhere in the world, that's just everywhere, would like to have this fake sense of security under slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Then chances of something happening in a state of actual freedom. That's the really sad part. So, I mean,
You got me thinking about this. This ties again still to intention, also, like why things are done. You mentioned slavery, and people getting used to things being done for them, and it's like all or nothing. There's not, people don't think variables. In this situation, this applies. And this, with these conditions, this applies. When it comes to this, it's different. When it comes to that, it's something else. And what I mean by that is that if you and I were in the same town, you were like my neighbor, and you're my friend, and I care about you, and we're cool. I get some food or something, or some drinks. I come over, I share with you. It's not because I expect you to pay me for it. you know I invite you over to watch some TV show, a sports, a game, a movie or something. We hang out. We do things just because we want to do it, because we love each other, just to do something for each other. Same thing with protecting. If you're in harm, some things I will protect you because it's the right thing to do, or you protect me. Hey, you stand up for each other, not because, well, I'm not getting paid for that. See, and that's where people's mentality is at, that everything that we do, money, I gotta get paid for. Well, I'm not putting. Why am I putting my life at risk? It's not my. There's no love. There's no care. See, and everything has to be a business transaction for money. So everybody, the slave mentality is like, well, it's not my responsibility to protect myself. The police do that. It's not our responsibility to, grow my own food, or make my own clothing, or build my own shelter, whatever. That's the carpenter's job to build a house. That's the whatever clothing store to do that. Everybody, everything is given away because it's money, 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 money. Slavery. Everybody else is gonna do for me, and I only have to do whatever my job is. Answering the phones. I'm an operator. Or sweeping the streets or whatever, or collecting the garbage. That's it. It's like people are so, again, it's that mind control that they think everything's the same for money, or because it's a job. And if it's not my job, it's not my responsibility. very rarely do they fall into the thing of doing what's right, doing things out of love, and just doing things just because they want to, just, you know. And so I just wanted to put that out there, that encompasses all this stuff about self-defense, or, you know, depending on the police and governments, or why people don't treat each other right because there's no money in it. You know, it's like the only ones to do that for is your wife and your children. That's it, or immediate family members. It's like, okay, yeah. However, isn't supposedly all of humanity a family? Don't you think that would kind of make the world a better place? And, you know, I know we don't have to, and, you know, nobody's forcing anyone to do that. However, you can tell the energy when people are more, you know, like assholes, you know, people asshole and just, leave me alone. And that energy is there, and they'll kind of, you know, they get all old, and, you know, it's just a negative energy. You can see it. Whereas people, you don't need to love everybody, but that energy, hey, how you doing? Courtesy, whatever, everything fine? Okay. Oh, well, if I can help you, I hope, you know, that energy, that vibe, that love, that positivity, that's the expansive force. And fear, that's that thing that constricts everything, and that's where we're at. Everything is fear that we're not getting paid for it. You know, it's not my job. What am I going to lose? You know, so yeah, that's I wanted to put that out there, that everything, the way the world is right now, that's part of the big problem there. You know, instead of just doing what's right and, you know, out of love, everything's for profit. You know. And avoiding responsibility.
Sorry?
And avoiding responsibility. Nobody wants to be responsible.
Yeah, sure.
Like, oh, I'm going to sue the police because they did that. I'm going to sue that guy because he did. No, be responsible. You see something wrong, you do it. Do it the best you can. If it's right, you do it. If not, you know, just go, you know, go about your business.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way, you know, it should be, and the way we, as you said, we have to kind of show the door to people in this regard.
Yep. You know what? That real quick, that reminded me of something else regarding at work and my job and everybody's job. You have a job, you work, you do certain things, right? You have an employment or job you do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Semi-employed, but anyway.
Semi-employed. But wherever you're doing, you have this, I know here in the States, there's a saying, well, it needs to be done. Mm-hmm. We need to do this. It needs to get done before the day is out. It needs to be done. It's like, really? You know what I'm saying? It's like in nature, you know, as far as the air circulating and the earth spinning and the water flowing, whatever, does this paper being filed, does this, you know, whatever thing being hammered, or does this thing being put together, does this have to be done? Not really. It's just something we made up. When it comes to work, everybody's of that mindset. It has to be done. We got to get this done. We got to get this done. But very rarely do we hear people, hey, the evil that's being done, the pedophilia, we got to end it. We got to get this done. Hey, the slavery, the theft, the taxation, hey, we got to end it. We got to get this done. Hey, you know, all the bad stuff, everything, government controlling tyranny, all this stuff, corporations, CEOs, all this enslavement of humanity. Hey, we got to get this done. No, we don't hear that. You know, all the paper pushing and all the typing and all the whatever other BS bull. Oh, we got to get that done because we got to get paid. But the real things that matter, nobody's talking about. We got to get that done. See, very few of us. That kind of makes me cry. That makes me laugh sometimes at work too when I hear like the supervisors, the other employees, come on, hurry up, we got to get this done. And it's like, really, there are more important things that need to be done than this. And that's the problem, having a higher consciousness. Now, I'm not saying I'm, you know, Christ-like or anything. Just, you can tell when you think of what's more important and what, you know, you can see more truth than other people. And it's like, man, wow. So I wanted to put that out there too.
Yeah, no, but it's the same thing for, you know, lots of energy, the wasted energy of people on stuff like, I don't know, sports, and people protesting if their team is not this year is not going to be shown on Sky Sports or
my God,
ESPN. That was kind of that was sort of a small revolt over here, because because Sky Sport wasn't showing anymore the football matches of a certain team, and people went crazy protesting. If that energy, and if all the bullshit about soccer and whatever,
misdirected intention.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Misdirected intention. See?
yeah. That's done also, purposely, and in many movies they show you how they do it. Another thing, but if that energy was to be directed to the things, as you said, that really matter, what kind of a better world we would have.
Right. It'd be better, not
perfect, not perfect.
Right, not perfect. They throw that word out, utopia. Oh, you want a utopia? It's like, what's wrong with that? Wanting to make things better, the best it can be. Do you want the best health, the best life, the best society, the best things can be? Not not one's idea of what best should be. Whatever shiny, mechanical, robotic. No, but based on what's right, according to natural law, according to love, expansive force, all that, what's good, what's right. That's how you want things to, the best it can be, not the best it can be where everybody makes all the money, or everybody has the best, Mercedes car built. It's like, no, it's not that kind of materialistic best, just best as far as what's right,
Yeah, and I actually saw a guy from Spain talking about these exact things, that we need to, we don't need to reach the utopia, at least as the so to speak, but we need to, but we can live in a better world by start having people teach other people to do sort of to how to do things better, and and for the good of everyone. So I'm kind of encouraged in a way to see this also over here.
Yeah, this brings it back to all the stuff we've been talking about before. The intention, why you're doing it. What's the intention? For profit, or because it's the right thing to do? And what's right, it doesn't cause harm to anyone. See, people, the word capitalism is good. Capitalism. Well, what's the root word of that? Capitalize. To capitalize means to benefit from, to take advantage of. I'm capitalizing from the situation. That's what capitalism means. But somebody makes the money and somebody gets a product. No, it's about capitalize. Somebody's getting over on someone. That's the initial, root of that, to capitalize. But yeah, people don't want to see it that way, because money is fake, it's made up, it's an illusion. The value system, like you get a car brand new and you drive it off the lot and already the value goes down. What happened? Nothing changed with that car. It's all a mental thing, the monetary value, So yeah, it's all in the intention, and somebody's taking advantage. The dealer made $30,000 off of you for getting that new car, and now you owe that $30,000 or pay that $30,000. That car is not really worth that $30,000. It never was. It was all made up. And that's what capitalism is all about. Somebody's capitalizing off of somebody else. But yeah, hey, there's a YouTube channel, and I forgot what it's called, but I've been seeing some of the videos. This guy had a business. He was a capitalist, and he was making money, but then the business was bad and all these bad things. And he started waking up to how bad capitalism is, how, things just, there's stuff out there. There are people starting to talk about, money and capitalism and all this stuff. So I don't know, hopefully more and more people will start waking up to all this, but I don't know. Sometimes I just start rambling off and just go off in different directions, but hey.
Yeah, this tends to, it's quite normal for these kinds of of things, so no problem.
Like I said, just a regular person, we're just regular people, and all this information, and hey, do the best we can.
Yeah, and that's regular people, and that you have a podcast named Guy Next Door Speaks, and
Mhm.
one thing that I'd like to say is that, that guy next door could be you that are watching. Hopefully someone will watch this. So you that are watching this,
Yeah.
that guy is you. So
Guy or girl or just
yeah,
person,
yeah.
anybody.
And,
Anybody next door speaking. Yeah.
exactly, and even that, if more and more people will do that, you know,
Mhm.
again, not perfection, but starting to see things getting better. Uh, you know, and again, as you said, we can only show you the door.
Yeah.
uh,
But that person's the one who has to walk through it. Yep.
exactly, and I actually like to start concluding this, something that I heard on your podcast, the consent of the governed, and sentences like that.
Mm.
It's actually the all the word sorcery that's going with that, and those are actually, you hear that government is illegitimate because it should have the consent of the governed, but they do whatever they want nonetheless. And okay, yeah, that's right, but there's more to that. That
Hmm.
this is just keep on playing their game.
Consent of the governed. Yeah. Those are kind of oxymoron, right? A contradiction in term.
Yeah,
Consent and govern is like willful slave. The consent of the governed is the willful slave. So right off the bat, you're already dealing with something that's not good.
yeah, and
Somebody that
then
wants to be enslaved, it's like, come on, you know.
yeah, and
And like
that's
I
it.
said,
Yeah.
govern is control. So government control the mind. Someone's willfully giving up their mind. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's a robot. So
Yeah, and I mean, they put this sort of word sorcery out there, so people say, we want to be. You have to have our you need our consent, and they say, well, okay, we are we are making you like we'll give you your consent or right, so you're already slaves, so now we'll make you willful, we'll make you accepting your slavery even more. So it's actually what they what they want. So uh,
yeah, you buy into their game.
yeah.
I think Michael Tsarian said something to that effect about the lie being sold a lie. Anybody can keep trying to sell you a lie, but
Mhm.
the it really the important part is you got to ask yourself, have I bought a lie? See, when you start buying into it, when you're again intention, what direction is it going? They're giving you all this lie. Oh, we control you, we control you, we control you. But not until you say, okay, I'm buying that. Yes, I believe it. Yes, you can show me. Yes, master. Yeah, see, that's the problem. And that's who's controlling who. If it's external controlling you or you controlling yourself and going outwards and everybody doing the same thing. See, that's the direction, so yeah, being sold a lie, buying the lie. The consent of the governed is like, I consent to govern myself, thank you. See, so whenever, I know the last podcast I recorded was maybe a year ago or several months ago before the conference, for the conference. So the podcasts, yeah, that's already a year or two or three whatever ago. So again, some of the stuff I may have said there, I've grown from or
Yeah.
evolved from, or so that's some things might have changed, or I've gotten better perception of the truth, or align my perceptions to truth better. So some things in there, hey, it's a progression. And I think even some episodes, there were times that I'd go back and say, hey, in the last episode before I said this, and I was wrong, or I made a mistake, or and trying to correct it. And even to this day, yeah, there's stuff that I know I don't have everything right. I don't know everything.
Yeah,
There are
sure.
some truths that I have aligned my perception with, that I can say, yeah, this is how it is. It's very simple and clear. And then other things like, well, I got to give it more thought. I need more experience with that. I need more, to contemplate it more. So yeah. And I want to throw one phrase out here that's rapper, Diesel Automatic.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff we were talking about is perfect to this one lyric that he has. Towards the end, we started talking about people doing what's right and all this stuff.
Exactly.
He has in one of his tracks, he says, first we got to wake up, then open our eyes up, then we got to come together peacefully and rise up. And that's a trinity. That's the three. First, you got to wake up. So that's grammar. That's the truth, knowledge. That's the culture, not knowing what's going on. Then open our eyes up. That's the logic. That's seeing it and be like, oh, look, it is true. Look, I can see it here. I can see it there. I can hear it. I can feel it. Yeah, okay, it's true. Then come together peacefully and rise up. See, first word is peacefully. It's like, hey, this is wrong. Stop doing that. No, we don't comply. And rise up. If they keep oppressing, then the next phase, then the action. See, so that I wanted to end it with that, put that out there, how that fits in. First, we got to wake up, then open our eyes up, then come together peacefully and rise up.
Yeah, and I must say, if enough people will rise up, then the remaining order followers will probably froze up. So no violence. So no violence. Hopefully, no.
Right. But remember, it all starts with a critical mass waking up, and then opening their eyes up, and then we can rise up. So
that's the Trinity. We find this this concept in
everywhere.
That's a key concept. Yeah, and in fact, as I was saying, the name that I came out that I probably called this podcast, based on the lines of problem, reaction, solution, but instead of reaction, it's understand. I want to put understanding. Comprensione in Italian, or comprensione in Espanol.
Sí.
So it's similar.
I'm more with comprehending, comprender, comprehend, because understanding. Yeah, we can stand under truth, but remember, a lot of people, it goes with authority, police, and a lot of legal terms talking about, do you understand? Do you understand? And again, the intention, you think they're asking you if you comprehend, but they're asking you if you stand under their authority.
Exactly. Yeah,
so
and
that's why it's like, I don't want to understand you. I'll comprehend you. Comprehend. And that word, you break it down, together, prehend. Prehending means to grab, to take. See, so you're taking it. Comprehending means I'm taking that information myself. I'm doing this. Yes, I comprehend. Not I'm standing under. I'm under you, and whatever you give me, I accept. That's the difference. That's why I try to stay away from understand. Sometimes when it comes to truth, you can understand truth. I stand under the truth. But more often than not, we're talking about authorities or some other people, what they're saying or putting out. So I don't want to stand under anyone else. I'll comprehend them, So, words are very important. A lot of stuff with words, comprehending. Instead of thinking, contemplating, So, all kinds of stuff. Words are very important. Again, this is all stuff I'm learning.
Yeah, words have a meaning, as they say. So thanks for the correction, and that's actually another topic that we may get in maybe the green language.
Yes, the language of the birds.
Yeah, but it's especially kind of maybe in English and French is kind of more. You can see that a little bit more. Instead, I don't know, maybe Italian and Spanish.
A lot of the roots Latin, probably, a lot of Latin origins. So
but anyway, problem comprehension instead of reaction. You're not reacting in sort of the way that they want, in panic and fear, and give away your power, but instead you comprehend. You get a grip of what's actually going on, and then the solution. That's then you present the real solution that would better everyone, most people in humanity, hopefully. And so, I think we can leave it here for now. Again, thanks, Ivan, for having been here. And so, do you want to maybe for people that might be interested in where to find you online? And we mentioned you have a podcast and a website already, but if you want to remember
that was in the first half of the video, so I don't know if you edit this together or if it'll be two separate parts. But yeah, like I said in the beginning, I'm just a regular person. Just have a job. I work, have the bills to pay and all that.
Yep.
So like everyone else, I'm in the matrix. However, 10, 11 years ago, I woke up to some stuff and pulled that little thread, and one thing led to another. And after all the knowledge accumulated, came time to start doing my part and put stuff out there. It started as a website, freeyourmindaz.com, as a meetup group. So that's here local in Arizona on meetup.com, freeyourmindaz. Haven't done too much with that, but hopefully I'll pick that up too. The podcast is on the website. Guy Next Door Speaks is the podcast. Some of it is on iTunes, but that gets kind of expensive, and I could just put it on my website. So all the podcasts are on my website, Guy Next Door Speaks. And then the conference that I had, that has its own website also with all the videos from, I think it was 9 presentations that were done. They're on YouTube, but they're on the website, truthmindreality.com. And that's it. I'm on Facebook, Ivan Oyola Jr. No alias. When I would call into Mark Passio's show, what on earth is happening? They'd ask, give your first name and where you're calling from. And I would say Ivan from Phoenix. And that stuck. I was like, okay, so online persona, Ivan from Phoenix. But I got nothing to hide, so I'm Ivan Oyola Jr., so I'm on Facebook. Anybody, on Facebook, whatever, and just look up Ivan Oyola Jr., or I think the Truth Mind Reality has a page on Facebook also. So, yeah, I accept emails and Facebook messages and whatever. But, yeah, so that's pretty much it. Just trying to do my part without killing myself, going crazy. Because if you try and I have to save the world mentality, we go crazy. That's why I still watch some movies, enjoy my time living, working and all that, because each person cannot do it all, but all of us can, a little bit from everyone can accomplish, wonders. Passio says it best. Many hands make light work. So.
Yeah, indeed. And so, okay, this has been great again. This has been Problema, Comprensione, Soluzione. I'm Francesco Sani here with Ivan Oyola, and see you all next time.
What up, y'all? It's Diesel Automatic, checking in with that realness. I do this for the people, man. All day, every day. That's what I'm about. Let's get big on it. This is hip-hop for change, yelling hip-hop hooray. All that fake spitting, I'ma make that shit stop today. Put a hurtin' on the beat, you better get Dr. Dre. I'm doper than a motherfucking ziplocker, yay. If I get locked away, ride for me when I'm gone. If I die, don't cry for me in the song. I live on through the people I inspire to make a change with my rhymes, keep them reaching higher. Oppression is the fuel that is feeding my desire to acquire all the knowledge that is needed and required to fight for the liberty of mankind. If you think we really free, you must be out your damn mind. They say if a man's blind, he can't find the truth. Well, maybe he can hear it, that's why I be in the booth. That's why I be on the rooftop screaming out loud. Power to the people, I'm a dreamer and I'm proud. You can see me in the crowd, I be busting in the cypher. This the type of beat that make a motherfucker hyper. Big up to the UK and all of Great Britain. They be like safe mate when I be straight spitting. I hit them with that real shit every single time. I put my heart and soul into every single line. I committed crimes and I got hit with the punishment. Only reason for the drug war is the government being lobbied by the corporations who are profiting by locking up the people. But it's time we put a stop to them. Stop to them. Stop to them. First we gotta wake up, then open our eyes up. Then we gotta come together peacefully and rise up. First we gotta wake up, then open our eyes up. Then we gotta come together peacefully and rise up. First we gotta wake up, then open our eyes up. Then we gotta come together peacefully and rise up. First we gotta wake up, then open our eyes up. Then we gotta come together peacefully and rise up. Rise up. Yeah.